We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nations. Come, the new Jerusalem. Silver cities rise, the morning lights, the streets that lead them, and sirens call them on with a song. It's asking for the taking, trembling, shaking. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. We, the great and small, stand on a star and blaze a trail of desire through a darkling dawn. It's asking for the taking. Come run with me now. The sky is the color of blue that you've never even seen in your eyes of your lover. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. Let the rivers run, let all the dreamers wake the nation. Come, the new Jerusalem. It's asking for the taking, trembling, shaking. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nations. Come, the new Jerusalem. Come, the new Jerusalem.
This talk is the dream of dreamers. And as I was preparing for this sermon, I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about when I was young. And I started thinking about when people would come to me and say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And as a child, I had to go back and think about when was the first time that I had mentioned what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. Not as I grew older, but that very first thing. The very first thing for me was to be some kind of an athlete. Kids around me would be, dentists or doctors or nurses or secretaries or engineers or police officers or medics or things like that. But I, for some reason, wanted to be an athlete of some sort. And as I grew older, I had discovered that I had osteochondritis in my knees. And the basic simple term for that is my bones underneath my knees grew a little bit faster than what they should have, so it caused the bone to split. And when this bone split, it didn't allow me to be able to run. It didn't allow me to get a lot of exercise. It didn't allow me to do a lot of things that younger kids could do. And I had to take calcium pills. They had braces on my knees. And this really slowed up the process in my head of my dream to become some kind of an athlete. And as time went on, I just got to the point that I said, I'm going to do this no matter what. No matter how much pain it causes me, no matter how much discomfort it causes me, no matter how much it takes for me to do this. I want to go out and I want to run around. I want to be able to catch a baseball. I want to be able to catch a football. I want to be able to shoot a basketball. And it just came to me as I was working on this sermon is that I got to the point that I didn't allow people to tell me that I couldn't do stuff. Because what it was the doctors who were talking to my mother and me listening, or what I remember of me listening, is that he'll never do this. He'll be lucky if he gets to do this. He should understand what's going on so that he doesn't put himself in a position where he's going to harm his knees again. And I got to thinking, wow, that is such a point where people around me were telling me that, but my mom didn't believe in that. My mom enrolled me into, back then, I actually wrestled back then too, into wrestling. And I always played baseball during the summer. And when I got older, I played football and I played basketball. But I was lucky enough not to have somebody who bought into the fact of the status quo or what people think other people should do, which allowed me to go on and play baseball, which allowed me to go on and play basketball and football. And at some point, I was even scouted by the Cubs and the Phillies. I just didn't quite have the overall ability to go further than that. But my dream was fulfilled. My dream was put in a position where I could do stuff, where I could become what I wanted to become, at least at that point. And Dr. Holmes writes in the Living the Science of Mind. If you don't have it, I encourage you to get it and read a whole chapter on what dreams are. And Dr. Holmes, one of the beautiful things about this philosophy that attracted me to it at least is that there's no checklist that you have to do to come and be part of this science of mind, this philosophy. You don't have to have a big bank account. You don't have to drive a big car. You don't have to have a job. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to do any of those things except what he does a magnificent job of talking about is be yourself. And as Karen talked about it in her opening anchoring for us, is that love. How love pushes away hate. How light pushes away dark. How many of us been put in a situation in our life that we have said to people, I'm going to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to go do this. And people say, oh, you're a dreamer. You're a dreamer. How can you even do that? How can you even think that? Well, part of that is there's something inside of us that just doesn't believe of what others think about that. And as we grow old, we will grow old, but as we grow older, we get more and more information which defines what we think about and what we move into and what we are defining what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong, what is love and what is hate, what is the light, what is God, what is not God, what is we gather all this information up. And if we allow ourselves to listen to what's around us about how the status quo should be, we start to lose some of that and we start to buy into that. We start to allow people to tell us what we should think, how we should react, who we should love, what we should love, if we should love ourselves. And in this beautiful chapter that Dr. Holmes talks about, as he talks about the oneness, he was a dreamer in the fact that he did his best to let you know that God is out there. Well, God is in you, but your connection with God is where it's at. The connection. And every one of us has that. Every one of us can open up that and be in that. It's not something we have to go find because we already have it in us. It's not something we have to look for because in a way it's not visual. Although you can have visual around it, it's inside of you. That's what Dr. Holmes was. He was a dreamer when it came to that. Which I didn't realize, but 2 days ago we celebrated the March on Washington, which was Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. 57 years ago. I have a dream. He was a dreamer. He was much like Dr. Holmes in the fact that we're all in this together. Don't let other people tell you that we are not in this together. Don't buy into that fact. The love I have for Karen is the same love I have for Gail, is the same love I have for Michelle, and the same love I have for everyone. No matter what. This place, Genesis Centers for Spiritual Living, is a place where you can be yourself, where you can love one another, no matter what, no matter where they come from, no matter where they are on their path. We have, I got to give a shout out to my wife. I'm so proud of her. She had told herself at one point that she needed to change her lifestyle. She needed to change the way she was eating. She needed to change the way that she was going about life. And she finally just said, I've had enough. I'm going to make this change. And when she decided to make this change, it was about weight loss. And she had come up with this big number. For me, she had come up with this big number. And everybody was like, oh, okay. We'll see how that works. Because they didn't believe that she could do it. Or they didn't take it upon the fact of what she had inside of her. That ambition, that dream that she was going to change her lifestyle and lose that weight. And to this day, she is close to 50 pounds. Lost. Now, would she have done that if people kept telling, if she would have bought into the fact that they just said, nope, you're not going to do that. You're too short. You can't change this. You like this food too much. You're not going to be able to do it. No. No. She made the change. And each and every one of us has that ability to make that change. Think about what's going on. We've had a number of challenges around us. We've had a number of challenges that are happening to not only our everyday life and our normal life, but society is changing. The world is changing. There's things that are happening. There was one person when I first came to this place that told me that universe loves change. Well, we got a lot of change happening. We got a lot of change happening. And to be that, the dreamers that are thinking about that are moving on. I would think about it this way. When I first started getting on the computer, I was like, I don't know, Windows 95. Windows 95. Maybe it was Windows. You know, and every 3 or 4 years, there'd be an upgrade to that. I'd be like, oh my God, now I've got to learn how to do this system. You know, I just got comfortable with something else. And now they're changing it. And it happens every 2 or 3 years on, an upgrade. Makes it easier. Where do we get that? We had somebody who probably sat there and said, wouldn't it be easier if we did this instead of this? Wouldn't it be easier if we could just move right on into this instead of having to find the file and copy the file and paste the file and do this with the file? And, oh my God, file here, file there. Why can't we just all put it into one place and we can find it right there? Those are the dreamers that I'm talking about. Those are the dreamers that have the thought process to move forward. And we need those dreamers. We need those dreamers. We're part of that. The beautiful thing about this philosophy is it encompasses everybody. It includes everybody. It includes everybody. So when we start thinking about how we want to be included, think about that for not only yourself, but think about that for everybody around you. The golden rule, do unto others as you want them to do unto you. If we could just all live by that, 100%. Think about what's happening around us right here and right now. And the dreaming that's happening right now and the shifts that are happening in our world, in our society. And although there's sometimes pain that goes through it, some of the pain that Courtney has to go through is she has to go through all her clothes and go, God, I really love this, but I don't want to get rid of it because it's so baggy. You know, there's a growth there. There's an adjustment there. And as sad as it is sometimes that there are some things that happen during that growth. But it's for the best. We need to believe it's for the best. And then to take action. And you're saying, well, what can I do? What can I do? What little things can I do, Burney? Well, I'm telling you, it's a vibration. Dr. Holmes talks about it. Dr. King talked about it. We feel the vibrations, the chakras, the whole thing. And every little thing that we do, if you believe that we are connected, and I totally believe that each and every one of us are connected. So what actions I do, what vibrations I do, is a reaction and a vibration out there to you. And what you do is a vibration to me. So if I'm kind all the time, that's going to rub off and be kind. Have you ever been around a person who kind of just doesn't smile or kind of just doesn't feel like life is great right now? But if you sit and talk to them and listen to them and smile and give that love to them, there's like this intense thing that kind of eases up a little bit. That's the vibration. That's the vibration. So what can you do? You can change how you feel about things. You can change whatever your definition of what negative is and make it a positive. Why do we have to say something's wrong? Why can't we say it was a learning experience? Why can't we say that it's something that I gained knowledge from? It might have been painful, and my feelings might have got hurt, and my body might not have reacted very well to it, but I learned something from it. I learned not to use a 6-foot ladder to climb up on a roof when I should have used an 8-foot ladder. I learned these things. I'm not going to do it again. So what can I do? You can change the way you think and how you feel about things. You can listen to people. I seen a thing on Facebook yesterday is about we're too busy not listening to people because we want to have a reply. Well, let's stop that. Let's unite. Let's be a dreamer and have those dreams. Let's allow ourselves to function in a world that accepts everybody. Accepts everybody. And doesn't put ourselves in a situation where we're thinking negative thoughts about people. Let's think positive thoughts about people. Let's listen to people. Let's be part of that. Let's have that love. And people say it's not easy. I say, hooey on that. It's as easy as you want it to be. It's easy as you want it to be. Read. It's okay to ask questions if you're not comfortable with the answers that you're getting. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to do research. It's okay to find out what the quote-unquote the facts are. And then assess it from there. So sitting in that and allowing that to be that love that you are, and be willing to give it out. There's an abundant supply of everything. This philosophy teaches that it's there. Have that dream. Have that ability to think that, yes, I know. And to do your best not to let others dictate how you feel. What can I do, Burney? You can change how you approach life. Get up in the morning and be grateful. Think about something passionate that you want to do. That you haven't done, that maybe somebody has told you can't do or shouldn't do. And start that process of doing it. Listen to people. Hear what they're saying. What goes out there comes back. We at first in thought, then in form. That's the love. That's the kindness. That's the ability to embrace what's around you. And as much as I don't like it when my wife tells me, as she says, there's a reason for everything. I struggle with that at times. Because sometimes I don't want to see that reason. If I would have just done this instead of this, yeah, well, that might be the reason. So know that you are important. Know that your voice counts. Know that who you are is a gift from God and a gift to all of us. Go out there and shine. Go out there and be you. Be you. Because you know there's only one you, and only you can do you. And share that with everybody. And watch how much comes back. Dreamers. The dreams of dreamers. Don't let the dream stop. Don't let people dictate to you that you can't achieve and be who you want to be. Have that dream. Have many dreams. Act on them. Listen to them. Embrace them. And love them. With that, let's pray. And as we close our eyes together, if you feel comfortable, and allowing yourself just to seep into the words that were spoken, as they land on you, take what is great from them and know that you are that greatness. Know that you are that dreamer. Know that you will continue to dream and you will continue to act on those dreams. That your mind, body, and soul runs in this pack together. That tells your brain that your body can do this. Tells every fiber in your soul that there's an abundant supply. That everybody is equal. That there is no less than. There's only greater than. Loving life to the fullest. Feeling that. Knowing that change is good. Knowing that there is a reason for everything. And that brightens in and opens up and you can see it even more. If not externally, definitely internally. That connection with God is a sacred one. And the vibration that goes out does affect each and every one of us. So for right now, we just let it be, embrace it, and let it go and say, and so it is.
So it is.
And we get get another beautiful song by Christina Xiang.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too